Hey everybody, it's Thursday, April 24th, and coming back to do a long overdue update on my daughter. I have just been crazy busy, just why I haven't had a chance to sit down and do anything. It's like every 5 minutes something is happening. Um, I'm exhausted. I'm looking a hot mess right now, but yeah. I just figured I might as well get it over with because every day I've been saying I will do it and it hasn't been done yet. And I have more videos to get out, so yeah. Anywho, in response to a lot of questions, I know you guys wanted to know what, if anything, has been done as far as school, what they're doing to address the bullying situation. Well, after she was released from the hospital, she went over to a treatment center for about a week. Um, I had a lot of phone calls and messages of from teachers that wanted to come and visit her and things like that. And just due to different policies in the hospital in the treatment center, they changed the visiting hours, and it just wasn't possible that everybody that wanted to come see her could. And normally that's not what happens. It's usually parents and just close relatives. And there's a special list that you have to be on and have a special access code. In which she had given me her list before she left the hospital. She wrote it out and said, "This is who I want on my call list. This is who I want on my visitor list." And so that's what I put down once I got her there. Anywho, in response to the teachers and staff from the middle school and the high school that wanted to visit, I went ahead and said, okay, once I knew she was being released, I said, we are going to welcome her home on Saturday. This is the time, and it was to be at our house. And we had inquiries about food and gifts and things like that. And I said, okay, sure, you can um, bring that. We'll have a party. And yeah, so everything was ready and we waited. We had a family member show up as expected. We had text calls up until the day of the the welcome home, and nobody showed up. Well, I'll get to why shortly. So anywho, the support right there. We kind of figured, okay, there's no support. What's going on? Everybody was so, gung ho. What happened? She went back to school that Monday, or I don't know. Maybe they were out of school, or she went. I don't. I know she went back to school for 2 days, and basically what happened was the bullying got worse. The kids that were on this so-called list that was given to the principal, these children were harassing her and bullying her over this list that they were put on, and they in turn got in trouble and they didn't like it. She went to another teacher, and told the teacher what was going on and how the kids were treating her. The teacher ignored it and just told her to ignore it, and that was that. And she came home, and I could tell she was very upset and bothered. So, in turn, I got a call that evening. Yes, it was. It was a Monday because I got a call that Tuesday evening from the social worker in regards to a student. There were 12 students that they supposedly they did have names of 12 students. I didn't give them all 12. but they had names of 12 that were the known bullies. Some of them were in school suspended, some of them were out of school suspended, and they dismissed one little girl. Well, the social worker called back to let me know that the little girl they had to bring back because she was a special education student. So I had to let my daughter know that, and it was special effort behavior. So I said, look, if she's bothering you or anything, just let me know. Well, once I let the social worker know, I asked her what all they explained to the students and the parents of the school, because it was my request that they come forth and tell everybody, assembly style, just the truth of the whole matter, what was going on. This child was on life support due to this bullying. Yes, there's privacy issues and things like that, and we were not concerned about that. We're still not concerned about that because, in light of all of that, student safety is what we're concerned about. These kids, they have to go to school every day, and we want to make sure that they're safe. The same way my child carried out this attempt, another child could be going through the same thing, and obviously there is a heavy bullying issue at the school that's now being brought to light. So we're trying to save another child. I mean, my child was a miracle to, come back after being on life support for that amount of time. Some of these kids might not be so lucky. Some of them we might not find out about until after it's too late. And we're trying to save one. So that was the reason why I asked that they tell the story. My daughter also asked that she be able to tell her story. She did tell her close friends and some other friends. She told them exactly what happened, so they know the truth. But now the school has lied to these students, the ones that they pulled out and supposedly got reprimanded for. They didn't tell them why they were in trouble. So that's what's making the situation worse. They're just looking at her like, okay, you're making trouble for us. And that has also caused my other daughter that goes to that school to get the brunt of that too, because they know that she's her sister. She's been, they had to bring her home one day. She was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And it's sad that they can't even go to school in peace. It's ridiculous. So I, let's see. The next day, I met with the first day I took her back. I met with the principal and the social worker with my daughter before school, and they said, look, if there's anything you don't feel comfortable with, something happens, go tell somebody. If you even have to get up and walk out of the room, just do it. And so that's what she did. They said that they were there to support her, but still, she was ignored by another teacher. So the next day, it went to the superintendent. My daughter and I went and talked with him, let him know what was going on. And the first few minutes of me talking to him, he just seemed really, really shady. And yes, I'm going to put this on here. And this video is not edited. Because at this point, it's ridiculous. The school has grossly mishandled this whole situation from the beginning by not telling these students. And mainly it's because they have a liability against them. But I don't care. We're talking about kids that are at risk, for losing their lives at school. It shouldn't be. They should be able to go to school in peace. And now these kids are not even safe at school. They are, the issue is they are not properly crisis trained. And it's sad because I had to tell him, look, we've had Columbine, we've had Virginia Tech, we've had Sandy Hook. How can you tell me that you are not able to handle this situation? And his response was really vague. He just, and then he looks at me like I'm just some uneducated black woman, and it was like, no, sir, you have the wrong person. Um, your school can handle this, and you all can let us tell our story. Uh, we're not looking for anything, in return. We're not gaining anything. We're trying to save some students. They're trying to, what they did was put up some posters like it was an after school special saying no bullying. What is that going to do? It's not doing anything. It didn't work. Um, yeah, these kids have no idea what what bullying can cause. Um, what else did I have to talk to him about? He, I said, look, if she can't come back to school, she needs to be homebound. And he said, yes, 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 that's exactly what I'm going to do. She's homebound from, this point on, because obviously she's not able to be in school. We'll get her work to her, and we'll see that somebody comes out and checks on her and helps her. Okay. So that's what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. Last week, no one came to bring her any work. And the week before that, the teacher and her grade level teacher, the head teacher, and the social worker came, and they dropped off work and talked with her and just found out how she was doing. The superintendent's suggestion also, when I talked to him, was to take her out and put her in another school. That's not an option, because the whole incident kind of started with another school. When she was released from the treatment center, the day of the incident, on the 17th of March, we had just left another school. We went over there to talk to them about enrolling, to find out what we had to do, because her school is a charter school. This school is not. We wanted to make sure everything was in place for her, what she had to do or what the other school had to do. And the social worker there suggested that she would have to come to them homebound or in a 504 program, and that's a special ed program, and that's just for the issue that she had come with. She come out of the hospital or out of the treatment center, and that's their protocol. But she said the whole transition would have to be initiated at her home school, so they would have to transition her out before they could accept her. And she said that was pretty much with any school, because there's only so many weeks left in the school year. It's really too late to be starting over at a new school. So his suggestion was to put her in a new school, because this school does not want to deal with the issue. They're kind of running scared. And I said, no, sir. I have a child that's about to graduate. She has to stay at this school. And then I have another one in the middle school. If I take one out, I'm taking them all out. So, and I said, I fully endorse this school. I give the school kudos all the way around. I have family members that have kids in this school, because there are sister schools all throughout the country in other states. But if you all cannot handle this at this point in time, it's sad. Well, we're trying to contact other outside resources so that they can help us go forth with this, and our goal is to help you get your story told, and this, that, and other. And I just looked at him like, you are so BS, because that's what he was. And yeah, I'm being real, y'all. He was not trying to help at all. He just wanted to see how far I was going to take it, because I had threatened to take it to the media, and that's the only way he called me. Because I said, look, I'm going to the media. This is ridiculous. Okay, well, we've had what? Franklin High. He called me, I think the day after that incident or something like that, the next week. I said, you know what? That incident at Franklin did not surprise her one bit. It didn't surprise me because she said the same thing to us in our house a couple of months ago. If a student was being bullied and they wanted to get back, they would go to school with a knife. That would be the best way to do it, and get them while they're in the halls where everybody was at because a gun would be too loud. And I said, so if she's thinking like that, that little boy thought like that because he was being bullied. How many more kids do you think are thinking like that? And how many kids have to be hurt before some school, anybody's school, really listens to these kids? And he just sat with his mouth open. And I said, it's the truth. And I said, and then you tell me to bring her back to school? Okay, if I bring her back and she starts shooting up somebody or starts stabbing up somebody, then what? You all couldn't handle her the 2 days she was there. I don't trust you. I don't even trust school, period, anymore. And my little kids, oh no, they can't go to school. I don't care. Charter school, public school, private school, no school. I don't trust them. So, he couldn't say anything. There was just no response at all. And then he calls me last week. No, week before last. It was a Thursday. And tells me, well, we have an issue right now. Your daughter has not been in school in X amount of days. She's coming up on her 10 days. Okay. Well, she's at truancy status. I said, excuse me, Mr. I'm not going to say his name, but she's not truant. You need to come again with that. Well, yes, the Texas school policies, the code, what have you, the laws. That's that's what I'm saying. This is their statute. I said she's not truant, and I've been a school teacher in the state of Texas. I know the laws. Tell me something else. We were over the phone, but he just shut up. So, I said, you were the one that deemed her homebound. So then he says, she has to have a doctor's note. You have to go get a doctor's note and bring to me, stating that she's homebound. I said, no, sir. You need to give me a note so I can take to her doctor, and I'll bring you a note back. Because she didn't come home and stay home. She came home and went to school. But you all did not handle the situation properly. So the whole bullying continued and got worse. That's the only reason why she's home now. And she hasn't seen her doctor since before the attempt. So her doctor's not going to understand why she needs to be home. He deemed her unstable, but he didn't say she couldn't go to school. So I can't go to him and ask him for a note. That has to come from you. So there was a long pause over the phone. Well, okay, yes, that's what has to happen. I've talked to our pediatrician that we've had for 17 years. She said the same thing. If we had come to her, she would have said, go back to the school. So, in short, the school is giving me holy hell, and they do not know me. I am not one to play with. I can be very nice. I know you guys just love, love, love me, but when it comes to my kids, I do not play. I'm serious. I'm getting ready to write this thing out to the end. We can take it to the Capitol. I don't care. But I'm not backing down. She's not truant. She will finish this grade. She will pass this grade with flying colors. Again, our whole goal is to get this story told, because I told him at, I think it was 16 days. And again at 21 days, I said, look at here, sir. You are the superintendent at the school. I'm going to tell you something. There are many incidents that happen at this school that we as parents have a right to know. I'm a parent. 16 days later, I still don't know about this incident. I would be very worried to know that there's a bullying incident at this school and I couldn't do anything about it. This is something we should be aware of. I said, my kids have come home with stories. Oh, Mom, there was drugs. They pulled out some 30 kids and this is what happened. Okay, I want to know what else happened and why are they telling me? Why didn't you tell me? You send me a note home, one note I got in February saying Mrs. XYZ been here so long, a teacher and excellent teacher, and she does this, this, and this, and she is now Mr. X. Okay, well, you know what? That's the norm. We don't care. Half the teachers at the school are transgender. We don't care. But you tell me you are prepared for the fallout of parents backlashing on that? But you couldn't handle this? Oh no. No, no. That's It's not acceptable. So what they did was they drafted some short note saying that they were having a session on the 12th of this month. They wanted parents to attend and give their input because they have a bullying situation on campus. They want to change the climate of the school, the culture. That's their idea of telling our story. So I just talked to somebody yesterday or day before yesterday on the incident that went to this thing, and she was trying to brief me on it. She didn't know. That's why that circumvented. And I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. And I told her what happened. I said, that's the reason why they came up with that meeting. I said, but now that I told you the story, how do you feel? She was flabbergasted. And she said, guess what? Your child is not the only one. And I said, yeah, I know. She said, somebody took their child out of the school because they were being bullied. And I said, okay. I said, but now you understand? She said, yes, I understand. And I'm upset. And I said, yes, that's what I was trying to explain to him. Nobody's devastated at this point. My child lived. It would have been a heavy liability if she had died. And I asked him, I said, look, if she had died, would you all still not have said anything? I think most schools would have had vigils or something, just while she was in the hospital. I said, but I just want to know, what the hell would y'all have told everybody if she died? Would you still have kept it a secret? And I said, in these situations, we've been in other schools, incidents happen. My kids come home with notes in their hands, and before they hit the door, emails were already sent out. You all do nothing. An ambulance shows up at the school for something, y'all usher the kids in another direction, tell them to stay in the room, lock the school, and you never tell them anything. You leave everything up to these kids to guess, or they start these rumors. That's not good school culture. And I said, these contracts, because we have to sign a contract for our kids to go to the school. The kids have to sign a contract. It's a whole different type of school. Like I said, it's a good school. Oprah endorses this school. It's that good. But this particular school, I told them, I said, look, all this stuff y'all making us do, these pledges and contracts, built on false premises. I said, if you can't honor our request, you can't do your job, that's wrong. It's wrong. And yes, nobody's going to be devastated. They're just going to be highly pissed to know that a child was sustained on life support and you all said nothing. Because basically it was at the hands of the staff. And they have to wonder every day when they send their kid to school, is this going to happen to my kid? Or is somebody going to come up here and harm my kid, another student? It's sad, it may be, but that could be the case. So, yeah, that's where I'm at pretty much right now. I've been, like I said, the story is out there. It's out there. It's getting out there. I want to know what you guys think. Would you go to the news with this story? I mean, if anybody's gone through this, what do you have? Any advice, that you have for me, for my child? She's still being homeschooled, so to speak. And that's just how we're going to keep it till the end of the school year. She will be going to another school. But for the most part, right now, she's here. Because I have one, like I said, the one is graduating, and the other one is going to another school. And we just looked at it. It's number 7 in the state, I think we said, or in the country, something like that. Anywho, yeah, just let me know. Am I wrong? Am I being too hard? Am I right? Am I, I don't know. Like I said, I feel very strongly about this. I cannot just let this go because, like I said, if it was another student, I would feel the exact same way. I would want to know what this incident. Yes, there are things that can happen, things that need to happen, but in order to effectively reach people, I think the uh, the truth needs to come out, and the sooner it does, the better it is. So, but in large part, she's doing well. She's still under the care of doctors. Um, Everything's locked up. Um, we're just maintaining day to day, just crazy busy, and yeah, trying to get by. So, let's see, is there anything else? I have not a current update. I think he wanted me to talk to the psychologist, in which I do not feel the need to talk to school psychologists at this point because it's going to be the same situation. They're stalling out. I have some other things in the works. I'm not going to get into it on this video, but if somebody does comment with that particular topic, I will cover it again because I kind of think somebody's going to hit it. I just don't want to say it in here. Um, but yeah, I'm not done. I'm going to fight this out to the end. So, thanks, guys. I just had a rant. I really did. I just had to get this off my chest. If you guys been following me on Facebook, yes, I might have said some crazy things, but hey, that's me. I'm real, and it's hard. The struggle is real, y'all. It's real. Bye.